Paboika, ituno, itiao. Well, here I am waiting. I send a link out to my guest, so I'm just waiting for him to come on. Um, I'm afraid to actually send it through here because I don't want to lose this. You know what I'm saying? Let's see. Um, hmm, just waiting. I don't see him yet. Oh, I'm all set up here. I'm all set up here. Waiting. I don't see him yet. Gotta lower this volume. I'm all set up here. I'm all set up here. Waiting. I don't see him yet. Gotta lower this volume. Okay, got that done. Let's do my banner. There you go. Getting everything flowing. For those who wants to get on the chat, I believe you might have to go through YouTube. It's easy to subscribe to YouTube. You know what I'm saying? And then hit that like button. You know what I'm saying? So we can beat the algorithms. But yeah, it's gonna be on YouTube channel. If you want to chat, you know, give some get in the conversation with Dimas. So, I'm gonna need you to go to the YouTube because I don't know on the Facebook. I don't know if it's gonna appear on here. I mean, it will eventually appear, but I will have to go again to Facebook to get that done. But yeah, my YouTube channel is against my YouTube channel is Silos Congas. Hmm, I need to I need to get that right. But let's see. Let me invite guests. I did send. Okay, here something I'll copy to the clipboard. It's copy. Want to send this out, but I don't want to lose. I don't want to lose this broadcast. Then I have to will appear, then I have to come back out again. It's a hassle. Hopefully, they must receive this through his email. Oh, I can probably wait a minute. I can send this out also through Messenger. It is 6:59. We did say 7 o'clock. Mm-hmm. Let me try to call Dimas. Let's see. Let me see. Let me try calling him. Let me try calling him over here. You see, it's calling Dimas on my iPad. Mira, did you hold up? Did you receive the link
Yeah, but it's wrong. Send me again some messages.
through Messenger? Okay. I just don't want to lose this, but anyway, I'll see. It's gonna be at first it's gonna be a little difficult, but we'll get it. It's like what happened
Oh
with
no,
Tito
but
Puente.
send me again through the email first. But what
Yeah,
happened
but
with the email?
the thing is, I can't grab it and send it to you, because I'm using two different devices.
So
Pero um,
so tell me the link.
okay,
Let me go to Safari.
okay, hold on. Let me mute this phone, this here, because I'm already live. But let me mute this. Excuse me 1 second. Let me
Okay.
mute this for a second. Hold on.
Now, there I am. Okay. Hi.
Okay, I'm unmuted now. You can hear me?
Yeah.
Saludo. ¿Cómo está? We're live right now. Okay. Man, chacho, no veo. No veo.
Dame.
So listen,
Por,
how you doing, man? ¿Cómo está la familia? How's everybody?
very well, very well. Por si acaso, déjame ponerme ese,
Yo,
headphone.
yeah, you break.
So,
Yeah,
no feedback. Wait a minute.
yeah.
Uh,
I'm not hearing you well. Mm, 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 mm.
let me,
Pero tú me oyes a mí bien. Comments.
okay.
Uh, ¿Tú me oyes a mí bien?
Yeah.
Oh, good. I'm almost. Okay. Let me see.
Perfect.
Yeah, I hear you perfect now, Dimas. Wow. Oh, wait a minute. I'm putting you in here. Ah, wait a minute. I don't want to do. Give me one second. Yeah, I'm learning how to navigate this thing way better. Yeah, I took your advice. I took your advice. You put in the house. Vela esto. In the house. Mira, it's in the chat. There you go. Dimas Sanchez in the house. Tú lo ves? The chat.
O sea, déjame cómo se ve esto aquí.
Let me. Boom! It's on the screen now.
Ah, now.
Yeah. Vaya. Wow, what a pleasure, bro.
Okay.
First of all, I like to, but let me greet you in the Taino language. You know that.
Okay.
Maboika, which means welcome. Itao means my brother. Itiao, my brother. Maboika
Okay.
Itiao. Yeah.
So
And
you've
como,
been learning.
yeah, yeah, I've been steadily learning, the language, going at it. How's the family?
Oh, they're doing well. My son, my daughter.
Good. Your
Uh,
son sax, right? Playing sax now?
yeah, but he's working on sound engineering now.
Oh, nice. Nice. Bueno, let's get started, man. Dimas, first, what instruments do you play? I mean, I see it in the background there, but tell everybody what instrument you play, Dimas.
Well,
¿A qué te
look at
dedicas?
here.
Right,
Drum set.
drums. Uh-huh.
There is a bongo there,
Uh-huh.
a barril de bomba there, and if you can see my shirt, it says Puerto Rico es bomba.
Yes, beautiful. For preparing for this interview, I was letting everybody know extraordinary. When it comes to Bomba and Plena, this is the man. You created a vein for that, and I always respected you for that. You know what I'm saying? Wonderful. But we're gonna speak a little bit about that. So, pero where were you born? I mean, yeah.
Well,
First question: Where were you born?
I was
Huh?
born. Uh, Bill, I'm looking at the comments. Bill is saying that I have an echo. Let me
You
see.
have you do have an echo. Why do you have an echo? I don't.
Let me see now. Do I have an echo now?
Yeah, you still have an echo. Let me hold on one second.
Let me reduce the volume.
Yeah, my volume here is down. Yeah, you do have an echo.
Yeah, just be sure that I am not outside of your speakers or something.
Hmm. Let me put on my light. Yeah.
Okay.
Bill.
Well, the thing is that I was born in Puerto Rico, in the region of Santurce, which
Mhm.
actually originally was San Mateo de Cangrejos.
Mm-hmm.
Many people don't know that that was a place where free black people lived and founded that town.
Wow. Interesting. Historically interesting. That's
Yeah.
exact. Yeah. I heard about that. Yeah. I think one of my father's from Rio Piedra. Is that close by Santurce, Rio Piedra?
Uh, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Santurce, as a matter of fact, part of Rio Piedras was part of San Mateo de Cangrejos because San Mateo de
Mm-hmm.
Cangrejos was really, really big. Was
Mm-hmm.
was what Santurce is now, what El Condado, the touristic area is now, Isla
Mm-hmm.
Verde, part of
Mm-hmm.
Carolina, part of Rio
Mm-hmm.
Piedras. So it was big.
Mm-hmm.
So that's one of the things that Santurce was part of what San Mateo de Cangrejos is. And as a matter of fact,
Nice.
they
Mm-hmm.
actually helped the Spaniards to fight
Mm-hmm.
the British that attacked Puerto Rico several times. So
Wow.
that's something very historical. And also, many people from different islands came
Mm-hmm.
to San Mateo. So so that's why you have last names like Williams in Puerto Rico. Like Bernie
Oh, right.
Williams. Yeah,
Wow. Yeah.
like and you have last names like Nurse,
Mm-hmm.
English names that
Mm-hmm.
came
Mm-hmm.
from Barbados and different islands,
Mm-hmm.
and
Nice.
also Dutch names like Lind.
Mm. Let me just add on to that. I'm from, you see, Santurce. It's on the upper part of the island when you look at it from
The
that
Norse,
viewpoint,
yeah.
right? The north part. I'm from the southern part, from Maunabo and Arroyo. Arroyo was known as Little Paris in Puerto Rico.
Oh,
That's the
really?
reason why they have French names. My
Ah, okay,
mother's
okay.
maiden name is Pachot, and it's
Oh,
actually
yeah, yeah,
it's
that's
actually
right.
Pachot. It's supposed to be spelled Paxot.
And it was
Pachot.
changed. It was changed, right?
Yeah, it
Yeah.
was changed to Pachot. The same thing in Maunabo, there was some Italians there. My because we're not really Pachot. I found out this later on. We're not really Pachot. We are Luchanos because my great grandfather, right, from my mother's side, was a piano teacher in
Oh,
Maunabo.
okay.
Yeah,
Well,
and he was
actually,
last name Luchano.
my mother actually is from Yabucoa, which is really close to Maunabo.
Close. That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah, we got. Mm-hmm.
And another thing about the French thing is that
Mm-hmm.
those French people are
Mm-hmm.
very related to what happened to Bomba later, because many of the French people
I was
actually
gonna
came.
segue to that.
It came into the 1800s,
Mm-hmm.
specifically after the Haitian Revolution. A lot
Mm-hmm.
of the people from Haiti,
Mm-hmm.
actually, like the rich people, but they
Mm-hmm.
came with their slaves.
Mm.
So that's how many musical
Expressions.
expressions from Haiti came to Puerto Rico and then were
Exactly.
modified, like the
Mm-hmm.
rhythms like Yuba,
Right.
Sika.
Right.
Those are French names actually,
Mm-hmm.
and they are also in Cuba
Mm-hmm.
in what is called Tumba Francesa in Santiago de Cuba.
Mm-hmm.
So
Man, I'm sorry. I mean, you're going through a huge historical content here, which is
yeah, yeah,
wonderful. Oh, by all means, you know what I'm saying. By all means, but and from bits and pieces, I will interject it because I want to just I already have prepared a few questions because I wanted
oh, really,
to
yeah,
be about you, your musical journey. But that's very important because it's
yeah,
part of who you are, right?
yeah, yeah,
You
sure.
know.
Yeah, well,
Now let me. Mm,
basically
mm,
because I am writing a book
mm,
about the bomba rhythms and how
nice.
to apply them in the drum set.
Right.
So and I am doing that with Jesus Cepeda, which his father,
Nice.
Don Rafael Cepeda,
Oh, Rafael Cepeda.
was a very well known bomba player and
Mhm,
dancer,
mhm.
and he was the first Puerto Rican to get the National Endowment for the Arts
Nice.
as a folklorist.
Right.
So we are writing that down. And to write that, I had to start reading
Right.
and
But
getting
let
it.
me segue to something, Dimas. Because people don't, people don't know that I've seen videos of you. I mean, when you were young, playing bomba with Cepeda. You know what I'm saying, with that ensemble, ¿verdad? I've seen
Yeah,
those
yeah, yeah, yeah,
videos. So people
yeah.
don't know that, you have an historical, background. You have an actual background in actually playing bomba
Oh,
and
really? Yeah,
being
yeah,
from that school of thought, man. From way back. Why
yeah.
why did you pick percussion? Playing. I mean, what inspired you? You
Well,
know.
something really strange about it is, do you know
Mm,
that I really wanted, now that Bill is watching, I
mm,
really wanted to play trumpet actually,
mm.
and uh, the curious thing is that my mother said it was too loud.
That's
Yeah,
great.
but then I I started researching myself about percussion, and the instrument that I liked the most at the time, it was bongo, which is one
Mm.
of your instruments,
Right,
bongo.
bongo. Right,
So I started playing bongo in
right.
some small bands in Puerto Rico and stuff like
Mm.
that.
At what
Uh,
age? At what age did you start play doing this?
we're, we're talking about 12 years old. Like I started doing that,
Oh,
or
right.
probably before. My interest was before, but I got the bongos before.
Mm,
Some
mm,
LPs that at that time were
mm,
like $90. So
mm.
now you cannot get
I was
anything
thinking I
like
get
that.
for 90 bucks on
Yeah, yeah,
LP
yeah.
bongo. No way.
And there was a place in Calle Arzuaga in Rio Piedras
Mhm.
that they sell the instruments and all that stuff. So I bought it there. I remember
Mhm.
it was a corner.
Mm. So who was the first artist that you started to working with? I mentioned Cepeda. Was that one of the first artists that well
Well,
recognized?
the way. Let me tell you the way that I got to the Cepedas.
Yeah,
I
please.
I I I started playing first with some, like Puerto Rico. There were like many bands that play salsa. Like
What we call
probably
garage bands in
yeah,
the in
yeah,
la
yeah.
marquesina.
What is garage bands here in the United States playing rock?
Mhm, mhm,
That
mhm,
was in Puerto Rico very common, people playing
mhm,
salsa and stuff like that. So
mhm,
I
mhm.
started that way, like
Right.
like almost everybody. And
Mhm,
then uh, something about jazz started coming to
mhm.
my mind, like
Mm.
really, like probably in the 18th, 19th. And I
Like
was
who? Like when you say jazz, like what artist?
well, one of the first person that I heard of, believe
Mhm.
it or not, was Hilton
Mhm.
Reese, because I went,
What?
yeah,
Hilt.
yeah, because I went to the store. It was called Don Pedro, and it
Mhm.
was it was called Don Pedro because it was Ramon Soto and Yvonne
Mhm.
Soto. And I remember Yvonne, she was a movie maker, and then she made a movie that was called Don Pedro, for Don Pedro Albizu Campos, Don
Yeah.
Pedro's y la vida de un pueblo.
Wow.
So I went to Don Pedro, and the first jazz recording I bought was a trio,
Mhm.
and I love trios.
Mhm.
And it was Hilton Ruiz,
Mhm.
Billy Higgins on the
Mhm.
drums, and oh man, I forgot the name of the bass player, but I actually saw them in Puerto Rico. I will remember the name, but it was
Hilton Ruiz. Wow.
when he was like really
He must have
really
been
young.
young. He must have been young.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, he was
Make
really
rest in
young,
peace.
and the la carátula. How do you say that in
Uh-huh.
English? The
The character. Yeah.
la carátula del disco, from the record, from
Oh, the cover.
the cover. Yeah,
Yeah.
the
The cover of the
cover.
album.
What the cover? He had like a big hat,
Mm.
and really, really skinny.
Yeah, I can
And
imagine because
yeah,
he passed
remember
away
that.
young.
Remember that Hilton started playing when he was 12, and he actually played. He actually played the Carnegie Hall. And one of his teachers was Mary Lou Williams. Uh,
Mm.
yeah, so
So he got around jazz.
many people don't know. So that's why he knew, all these musical styles.
Progressions,
Yeah,
jazz
operation because
progressions.
his teacher was Mary Lou Williams, and Mary Lou
Right,
Williams was an excellent, tremendous,
right,
piano
right.
player.
For those who don't know, if you want to see Hilton Ruiz, he was with the Tito Puente Orchestra on Calle
Yeah,
54.
yeah,
That's Hilton
exactly.
Ruiz on the piano. I mean, awesome, awesome piano player. One of
And
the
the song that he's playing
mm,
in Calle 54, that's his
uh-huh.
composition. And that,
Wow.
yeah,
But
and
that's with Giovanni and
yeah,
yeah.
yeah, and that composition was
Mm-hmm.
actually in his first, in that first recording that I bought. Is
Mm-hmm.
that the same composition? Some changes, of course. It was a trio,
Mm-hmm.
but same composition.
Mm-hmm. Wow, wow. I mean, man, so this is what was a catalyst. This is what got you,
Yeah,
interested in music. This was the
yeah, and then
beginning of your music journey.
yeah,
So
and
how
then
do you want it with Cepeda from then on?
well,
After that?
after that, I started studying drums with Tony
Mm-hmm.
Sanchez. Tony Sanchez
No, Tony Sanchez.
is the drummer
Mm-hmm.
that used to play with the orquesta de César Concepción.
Oh, Cesar
You,
Concepcion, of
so,
course.
so,
Yeah.
so, so if
Yeah.
you remember,
Mm-hmm.
the one that started playing with César Concepción, and his
Mm-hmm.
son
Mm-hmm.
played with Mongo. So
Mm-hmm.
the recording that Mongo Santa Maria is with Armando Peraza,
Mm-hmm.
and they have Perico Ortiz in that recording.
Mm-hmm.
That Tony Sanchez, that he played there. So
Mm-hmm.
I started playing with Tony, and then I started playing with Taller de Jazz Don Pedro. Uh,
Okay.
so one thing that I saw in terms of how do you say, the identity for of as a musician,
Mm-hmm.
you have to have an identity. That's very important
Of
in
course.
jazz
Yeah.
or,
Yeah.
any
That
other music.
personality and character. Yeah. Yeah.
So I started noticing that all the drummers that I liked,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
like not the Americans one, but like say Domo Romão from Brazil, which
Right.
actually played with, that was one of the first percussionists for Weather Report.
Mm-hmm.
Ailton Moreira,
Mm-hmm. I
in,
somewhat, yeah.
Ignacio Berroa, who was
Mm-hmm.
who was the first drummer for Batacumbele in that
Mm-hmm.
recording in the
Mm-hmm.
1980s. I noticed that all of them had a profound understanding of their
Mm-hmm.
own music. So
Mm-hmm.
Ayrton from Brazil, Ignacio
Mm-hmm.
from Cuba, Thomas Roman from
Mm-hmm.
Brazil too. So
Mm-hmm.
I started searching. Okay, we have this
Mm-hmm.
that they call Latin jazz, but most of it is Afro-Cuban, and
Mm-hmm.
that's good. That's good because it's
Mm-hmm. Right.
the island next door.
Yeah.
But I,
And
st-
that
I
and just let me interject. And that happened like in New York, the exchange between the jazz musicians and the
yeah,
Latin musicians and visiting each
exactly,
other and created that unity.
exactly.
So that's the Latin jazz.
Uh,
But yeah, but go ahead.
Yeah,
You
yeah,
know.
but then I was studying too with Cachete Maldonado,
My buddy.
who was the founder
Mhm. Uh-huh.
of Batacumbele,
Batacumbele, that's
and
right.
Also he played with Perico.
Mm-hmm. Played with a lot of
He
people.
played
Típica 73. I met him when we was playing with Típica
yeah
73. Yeah.
he played with Gato Valvieri.
Mm-hmm.
Uh,
Gato.
him and Guagua, because Guagua.
Mm-hmm. Well,
So at that.
we're going to mention Guagua in a bit
Oh, okay,
because you did
okay,
a lot of
yeah,
work with Guagua. We're going to go over that. But
okay.
right now, yeah. Yeah.
So when I was studying with Cachete, I noticed that
Mm-hmm.
he told me a lot of things about bata drums. Many people don't know, but
Um,
I actually know some of the bata
rhythms
rhythms,
of Bata rhythms, yeah.
which you know that
Mm-hmm.
there are like 200 those of
Oh,
rhythms.
yeah, man. I studied with Giovanni Hidalgo on that.
Yeah,
Always in
yeah,
this house at 12 o'clock at
uh,
midnight. It was like, take the Bata. But yeah,
yeah,
you're right. Yeah.
and depends of the saint that
Yeah. That you,
the
yeah.
actual the actual not saying,
Mm-hmm.
but we
Yeah.
say that in Spanish, but
Mm-hmm.
what is called a oricha.
Mm-hmm.
Depending on that, that's the rhythm. That's the way that the
Yeah.
rhythm is.
It could turn
But
around. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
yeah, but he taught me a lot of that. But then when I started asking him about bomba and plena,
Yeah.
he was very brief. And I said, wait a minute,
Uh, yeah.
it cannot be like that. So at that point, at that time,
You
David,
see the void that you wanted to fill. That's what it
yeah,
was. You say, wait a minute.
yeah.
Yeah.
So at that time, since a kid, I've been listening to Cortijo because my father listened to a lot of stuff.
Right.
My father listened to Nat King Cole. As
Uh,
a matter of fact, I remember a recording that Nat King Cole in my house playing
hmm.
piano, not
Yeah.
singing, but
Right.
playing piano
Oh, he
with
was an
his
awesome
trio.
piano player.
Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah.
and
Awesome.
in that recording, the composer of Caravan was there.
Hmm.
Juan Tisol was
So
playing that recording.
you got your
Yeah,
musical sense, that thing from your father, huh? May he
yeah,
rest in
yeah.
peace.
My
Yeah.
mother, because my mother
And your
actually,
mother?
she really liked to sing, and she knew
Ah,
many of
nice.
strange. She knew many of the standards,
Ah, nice.
uh, because it was, it was from her time.
Right.
So,
So
so, so,
you grew up in a musical
yeah,
environment, really.
yeah,
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 yeah.
yeah,
Like
yeah,
many
yeah,
of
yeah.
us. Yeah.
No,
Great.
later I'm gonna explain you all the different, but at that
Hmm.
time, my brother David,
Hmm.
he was playing
We're gonna speak about
with
David, yeah.
okay, he was playing with la Orquesta ABC de Jesús
Hmm.
Cepeda.
Hmm.
So so I told David, hey, you know, introduce me to Jesus, please, because
Okay.
I want to see. I knew that they had the folkloric group. He had the salsa band who was ABC,
Right.
and
Okay.
then they had Familia Cepeda who was a folkloric group.
For
So
bomba en plena.
yeah, yeah.
For Puerto Rico, for
So
bomba en plena.
so
Folk music. Yeah.
I went to him, and then he said, "Oh
Hmm.
yeah, come here every Monday." They rehearse every Monday. This is one thing about Puerto Rican groups and
Uh-huh.
Cuban groups that
Hmm.
people here are probably not that familiar with is that they rehearse every single week.
Wow.
So,
Yeah.
but there were gigs too,
Hmm.
So we rehearse every Monday in
Okay.
the opera house from Don Rafael Cepeda. So I went
Mm.
there like the first time, and the first time that I went there, Miguel Carrillo was there, Anthony Carrillo's brother.
I think I got it. Yeah.
Yeah, because Anthony Carrillo, excellent bongo player, Eddie Palmieri, Patrick Cumbel, and everything.
Crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Crazy. I think.
Anthony he knows bomba and plena very well.
Yes, he does. Yeah. Yeah.
Many people do
Yeah.
not realize that,
Yeah.
but he is actually very good on that. Uh,
Hmm.
so I
He's
went
very
there, and
versatile.
all this other I see Michael Carrillo there, and then Jesus
Mm-hmm.
came, and I started
Hmm.
knowing all the people, and because of that thing of the jazz, that's
Yeah.
how I got introduced to bomba and plena.
Mm-hmm. The woman
And
playing.
I just wanted to go to the rehearsals, but then Petra Cepeda said, no, 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 you have to play.
Mm-hmm.
And she was right because if you go and play, it's not the same thing that practicing, because
Right.
now you have to make a lot of effort, physical effort. And at the beginning, I was playing like this, really big bomba battles,
Wow.
and it was, I was used to the congas,
Hmm.
and it's different. It's a cow skin.
It's yeah.
It's easier to get the sound,
You taught
and
me that the
yeah,
different sound way of
yeah,
slapping the.
and now we have a goat skin. You can even,
Hmm.
the old ones. You can be
Hmm.
even press the skin and go down a little bit. Not
Hmm.
today, because now today people press that too much. But
Well,
those batters who were the originals,
hmm.
you really have to know. You really had to know how
Hmm.
to actually put your hands to get the sound.
Right. Right.
So
Right.
that was a learning process, a really,
Process. And all of this
difficult.
was happening in Puerto Rico.
Yeah,
When you
in
were
Puerto
there
Rico.
in Puerto Rico. Okay. So I want to segue. So when you left Puerto Rico, you came when you left Puerto Rico, you came to Orlando, Florida, because that's where I met you at, or did you go anywhere else besides?
No, no, actually, well, I have to say that when I was playing with Cepeda, that was
Mm-hmm.
I started like in 1984.
Mm-hmm.
And at that time, I was also playing with the Taller de Jazz Don Pedro. And actually, the
Mm-hmm.
people from Taller de Jazz Don Pedro, they also told me about the Cepeda because one thing is that the Jesus Cepeda, Mario Cepeda, and Chichito, they always went to the concerts
Mm-hmm.
of the jazz concerts that they brought.
Mm-hmm.
That was a time in Puerto Rico that
Mm-hmm.
Henneken was not there yet, but Ramon
Mm-hmm.
Soto, who
Mm-hmm.
was just a one person show as a producer,
Mm-hmm.
he brought Dexter Gordon.
Mm-hmm.
He brought
What influence? Oh my.
he brought Billy Higgins. So I saw
Mm-hmm.
all these people in Puerto Rico. I saw George
Mm-hmm.
Coleman. I
Mm-hmm.
saw Dexter Gordon. I
Mm-hmm.
saw
Saxophone,
Hilton.
that's the Gordon.
Yeah,
Wow.
I saw Hilton Reese.
Mm-hmm.
I saw Billy Harper. I
Mm.
saw a bunch of people.
You
Actually,
got
I saw,
exposed to that
yeah, I,
greatness
I saw
of musician.
more legit jazz
Yeah.
players in Puerto
Right.
Rico than
Yeah.
here,
Mm.
which is here in Florida, which
Yeah.
is kind of strange, you know, that once in a while you
Right.
get a concert and you get to see
Mm.
these people, but
Right.
they were bringing these people constantly to Puerto
To
Rico. So
Puerto
I
Rico.
had the
Wow.
opportunity to see Billy Higgins, which with
Mm.
Cedar Walton.
Mm.
Cedar Walton had like a great group with Billy Higgins, Sam Jones.
Mm.
Uh, the sax player, I don't remember the name, but it was supposed to be at one point was George Coleman, but that was not the sax player that went to Puerto Rico. But I
Mm.
saw all those peoples over there,
Mm.
and at the same time I was playing with the workshop, the the Don Pedro Jazz Workshop. That was the name,
Mm.
Taller de
Okay.
Jazz Don Pedro,
Yeah. Yeah.
and
Mm.
and and, and
So the
you
people
know,
don't know, when you mention Cepeda in the world, in Puerto Rico, and that's the epitome of bomba en plena, which is the folk music of that island of Borinquen. You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
That's the
no,
epitome. That's like the icon. You
no,
Cepeda.
no,
Yeah, I mean, there
yeah,
was other
no,
groups too, like the
Ayala, Ayala.
Ayala, Cepeda. There was few groups, yeah.
Yeah,
Even the Cora. I'm from the Cora family. Even the Cora had a
yeah,
little
yeah,
thing
but
too.
because Cora,
Mhm.
your cousin is right, Cora,
My cousin,
the
my Eddie Cora, yeah, and
yeah.
Mario
So
Cora, yeah.
he used to play
Chocolate play.
with Cortijo
Right.
and Ismael Rivera,
Hey, my idea.
who play many compositions
Mhm.
from Don Rafael Cepeda.
Wow, there you go.
Yeah,
There you go.
so El Bombón
Hmm.
de Elena,
Hmm. Hmm.
María Teresa, you know,
Yeah,
all those bombas
yeah,
and plena, and
yeah.
Cortijo made them famous, you know.
Mm.
So,
Hmm.
so, so I was working with all those influences at
Right.
that
That
time.
great seasoning. That's
Yeah,
like the greatest environment you could be in. I
pero,
mean, and
plus,
it shows in your musical
plus,
character. You know what I
yeah,
know.
plus I had also the opportunity to play shows once
Mm.
in a while, not many because it was a close environment. You have to be
Mm.
recommended by somebody to actually do a
Mm.
show. But there was one
Okay.
show that I played that I got the opportunity to back up Lucecita Benitez,
Necesita, yeah. Mm-hmm.
uh, 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 Luna,
Mm-hmm.
who was it was a huge concert.
Mm-hmm.
It was Luna was there, Chucho Avellanet was there,
Mm-hmm.
Lucecita Benitez was there, Olga
Mm-hmm.
Guillot was there,
Mm-hmm.
uh, and many other performers that are very well known
Performance,
in the
yeah.
Latin world.
Yeah. So let's talk about when you came to Orlando, Florida, and I know it must have been a little frustrating for you coming from that to because I know when I got to Orlando, Florida, there was still like a thirst. It was just striving, beginning to thrive as far as
Well,
musically. But
I didn't come to Orlando directly. I came to
mm,
Florida, but since I was studying
mm,
FIT,
mm,
Florida Institute of Technology,
that's
uh,
right. I was going to mention that you're a
uh,
professor in that.
yeah, and I went there to Melbourne.
Mm,
And then in Melbourne, actually, I met a couple of people that were like really interesting, had different backgrounds.
mm.
And there I started playing a lot of blues.
Blue. Oh, okay.
Yeah, yeah,
Wow.
yeah. Uh,
Well,
uh,
that's like I said, African expression. You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
So
well, that was my
you
first
tap
gig. Let me
mm,
see,
in
because I
Florida.
went I went to a place in the university that had a band. So I went there one time and did a jam session, and a blues player was
Mm,
there. His
mm,
name was I believe he's still alive. Buck Barefoot. He had
yeah, I
like
know.
kind of like a Native
Sounds familiar,
American,
but
yeah,
mm,
Native American heritage. His name was
mm,
Buck Barefoot. And he was just a blues player. That was
yeah.
that was it. He didn't. And there are
Interesting.
many people. There were many people on that side that only play blues, and
Mm,
there were blues clubs there that were big
mm,
actually. There
In
was some.
Melbourne, yeah, yeah. I
Yeah,
played in a few clubs out there.
not
Mm,
there was one, not exactly in Melbourne, but it was called the Sebastian Beach Inn, and it
mm,
was in the middle of nowhere. But when
mm.
they had like blues artists, it was full. That place was full.
Everybody just come out. Boom.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. It was.
Yeah.
When I said the middle of nowhere, I mean they were near the beach in a place where the turtles. It
Mm,
was, how do you say, restricted. You cannot go there because the turtles would hatch there. So in the middle of the
mm.
night, it was like really, was really dark. But
The
then you had this place, and it was
Boondocks. They
full
could.
full of people, and
Wow.
named blues people that were named,
Yeah.
big names in the
Wow.
blues world would play there.
Wow.
So
Wow.
so so I met
Backwood
Bob
of
Barefoot.
Florida.
Yeah, I met Bob Barefoot and played
Mm.
with him.
You play
And
with
one
him.
time that I was
What,
playing
what
with Bob,
instrument did you play? You play the drums with him?
the drum, yeah, the drum set.
Okay. Okay. Because you started
So
playing a lot
so
of drums when you came to Florida, right?
yeah,
More
that
than
job.
more than
So so
uh
I, so
barril, I
I
think.
did I did couple of gigs with him, and then uh,
Mm-hmm.
a singer, Tess Jones, she saw me, and
Mm-hmm.
then she called me to play rock. So I was playing rock. Remember that people saying, "Oh no, you don't play rock.
Yeah.
You're
Good
Sanchez."
segue because
But
we're
yeah,
gonna segue into
yeah,
that.
yeah, yeah. But I started playing rock, and almost
Mm-hmm.
every weekend I was playing rock with
Mm,
that band.
mm.
And that was like for 2 3 years,
Wow.
probably. So I was playing songs of Melissa Etheridge, which Melissa Etheridge was hot at the time, uh, you know.
Yeah.
So
Wow. Wow.
and
Wow.
then I met people, and then I started doing jazz over there, like
Okay.
two twin brothers,
And
Charles Van
Melbourne, and
Riper
Melbourne, and Melbourne.
in Melbourne, Charles Van
Okay.
Riper
We didn't
and
get to
Billy Van
Orlando yet.
Riper. Billy
Okay.
Van Riper, which
Okay.
Billy, rest in peace. He
Mm-hmm.
was a great, great guitar player. I mean, one of
Mm-hmm.
the few people that I've seen that can really play rock and
Yeah.
jazz and
Mm.
blues, everything.
Ain't that something? How you meet all these extraordinary musicians, man, along your way? It's just, and you realize that wow. I mean, I actually sat down with this person, and you acknowledge the talent. So much talent out there, you know.
Yeah, and that,
Mm.
we're talking about people that are not that very well
Yeah,
known,
they're not
but
commercially known, but
yeah,
but
yeah,
I'm
yeah,
sure
because
amongst musicians
people,
they know.
people, yeah, people always start talking. Oh, I play with this, and this guy, but these guys were actually really, I mean, really, really good. Sometimes musicians get into what we call in Puerto Rico faranduleo. Yeah,
Farondeo.
yeah, yeah.
Educate me. What that means,
Yeah,
farondeo.
yeah, yeah.
¿Qué es eso?
For the English speaking people, it means like you are just hanging out with the artists that are hot at the moment.
Okay, I see what you're saying.
Taking
Fan.
pictures. And
Yeah,
now
yeah,
and now
yeah.
and now that we have a Facebook, well, that's even it's even
Yeah,
worse. But
yeah, yeah.
these people, I mean, like Billy Van Riper, it was a great. To tell you one story about Billy. Billy, one time he auditioned for no, it wasn't Stevie Wonder. It was he auditioned for talking about big names,
Mm-hmm.
Ray Charles,
Mm.
and after a year he got the audition. And then he told them no because he, because he was playing in a rock band. It was called A Million Tiny Fingers,
A
and that
million
band,
tiny things.
yeah,
What
yeah,
a name.
that was the name of the band, and they
A
were
million
great.
tiny fingers.
Yeah,
That's good.
I remember a guitar player. The leader was Billy Chapman, who's still around and he still plays
Wow.
around in Orlando and Melbourne. But he saw that at that point you have to understand at that point is when Florida started getting like people signed
Mm,
by different companies, recording
yeah.
companies. That doesn't exist anymore. But at that time, that we're talking about the 90s,
Yeah, in the 90s. Okay.
yeah, in Florida, several people started going signed. Like
Yeah.
when we started playing with Rico.
Hmm.
Remember that?
Right. Well, we're
Yeah,
gonna segue to that. Rico Monaco. Matter of
yeah.
fact, it's another. I want to do an interview with Rico. So is that what we? Well, I think I met. Do you remember when I met you? You remember how that went down? Let me see. Remember, I asked
No,
everybody that question. Tito Fuente doesn't even remember, but I had to remind me. Say, oh yeah, that's right. You was playing at City Walk. I forgot who you were playing with at City Walk, and then I think you were playing drums on the stage at City Walk, and then you come down, and um, and then that's when I saw you, and I said, man, I just saw you on stage, and I started speaking with you and whatever.
wait a
Yeah.
minute, wait a minute.
Mm.
Wasn't that I was playing with the show of Emery?
I don't can't remember who you were playing with, but I know you was on that
Yeah,
City Walk stage. It was outside, City Jazz on top of the stairs, and it was there, yeah. And then
I
that's
I
when I
believe.
first met you.
Yeah, I believe that was actually was with Orlando
What
Sanchez
this like? Oh,
and a
really?
Kangana.
Oh,
It was with
maybe.
Orlando Sanchez.
Yeah. Could be. It could be. Could be.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because that I played with Orlando at that time
Mhm.
with Universal
Great,
several
great conga
scenes.
player, which I like to interview also.
Yeah,
Great conga
but
player.
one of the things that we did was the Emery Lagasse
Mm,
show that he
mm,
came to. When he was doing his show live with the band,
mm,
he came to Orlando, and then his band
mm,
was there, and we were there also playing with
mm,
Orlando's group.
Okay. Yeah, that's when I first
Hamilton,
met you.
Hamilton was there. Was Hamilton there when you met?
I think so, but I didn't mean
Yeah.
Hamilton there
So
because I got introduced
yeah.
Hamilton
So it
another
was.
way.
If Hamilton was
Mhm.
there, that was the day that we played with the
Yeah.
Emery Lagasse.
Were you at the? I think it was a club on Orange Avenue in Enrico. Were you there that I got on stage and did a triangle solo? Were
Yeah,
you
yeah, I
there?
was there. I was there.
Yeah,
I,
I did a
I,
solo with the triangle. That's when Rico was like impressed. And then I
yeah,
got the audition. I showed up at the rehearsal studio that you
yeah,
guys
I
were
remember
rehearsing,
that.
but you had another percussionist. But then later on, Rico told me to come on in.
Call you, yeah,
Then that's when I started playing. And with your segue into that, we did some great stuff with Rico.
yeah.
That first album, what I loved about you, Dimas, is that whenever we were working out a song, right? A composition that Rico might have wrote or somebody or Pete Butterbun, the piano player.
yeah,
and we was giving ideas for the rhythm, that
yeah,
you always encouraged me, and you always was like willing to, like, yeah, let's do it. You know what I'm saying? Like I
yeah,
said,
yeah,
should we throw a little merengue in here, throw a little samba in here, whatever. And you was right there with me. And that first CD, when you listen to that first CD, you hear all those rhythms that we were doing. You know what I'm
yeah,
saying? Down to the bomba, to the samba, to the, and playing rock, with the rock thing.
yeah,
I
yeah.
think it was groundbreaking. I think
And
that
that,
CD
and
was one
that's
of the best
why,
CD.
don't tell Rico, but
Mhm.
that was his best CD.
That was, because that took us to
Okay.
Mexico. That took us to
Yeah,
Mexico with Sammy Hagar. Remember that
exactly. That's right.
we played the first show. I wanted to save it for Rico, but being that you're here and you experienced this with me, we played the first show with Sammy, and he loved it, and he had us come on again, and he even got on stage with
Oh
us,
yeah.
and we created a bond. We
People love it. People went crazy
love
about it.
that. Yeah.
And then Sammy Hagar sang with us,
Hmm.
and we put one of his songs in 6A at the
Black and
end.
right, black and blue, black and blue. Yeah,
Yeah,
and I
yeah,
remember when we came up with that. We said, "Yo, let's do the 6 8 because of Santana." Because I say,
yeah,
man, Sammy is looking for that Santana vibe from us. Well, let's give him a 6 8 at the end of black and blue, and it worked perfectly.
and
He even took the
he
shaker,
was
remember?
yeah, yeah, yeah.
And
He
broke the
was
shaker.
surprised. Yeah, he
Yeah,
was
he loved
surprised,
it.
and
He
then he
was
took the
like,
checker and broke it. Yeah,
woo. Yeah, yeah,
yeah,
he was floored by that. So yeah, the Rico Monaco experience. We got to back up Tito Puente. Remember, because I knew Tito Puente from for since his youth, and then
yeah.
he needed a band to go to international.
Tito,
He wanted to create an international band. We went
yeah,
to Paris.
yeah. Tito
Black and
Junior, yeah, Tito Junior,
Tito
yeah,
Junior. Yeah.
yeah. Where the first time
Mhm.
the gig that we did with him, remember,
Mhm.
it was like a New Year's Eve at
Oh
Epcot.
yeah, we spoke about that. Did you see the
Yeah,
podcast? That was so
yeah,
cold. Yeah.
yeah. That it was cold, and at that time, I never had an experience of so cold in Florida. I was 29,
I
so
yeah.
I didn't have the right coat for that, and then they will
We were.
they will actually transport us from the stage to the place where the artists were supposed to be in a golf cart,
Hmm.
and that
Hmm.
was torture. We was tortured
Yeah,
because then
yeah,
the
yeah.
wind was hitting on you. Yeah,
I remember I was playing congas. Imagine that. I'm playing
yeah,
conga. You
yeah,
played timbales and bongo. You was doing all the percussion. I
yeah,
was on conga. Man, we spoke about that. Tito was like, "Wasn't that cold?" I said, "Yeah, yeah,
yeah.
yeah." We spoke
No,
about that.
we had the horn players. It was terrible for the horn players
Yeah, very, very
because
bad. But we made it through. We did it all excellent performance. We even got to go to San Francisco. Remember that black and white ball.
oh
Okay,
yeah, yeah,
Chaka Khan was there. She wanted Tito to get on stage, and no Bang was there. Matter of fact,
yeah.
they came after
That
us. They were the main.
yeah, that was kind of scary. Los Bambam were
Mm.
there, uh, and and then we play, and then after that the Los Bambam came and
Mhm.
played.
I think that, and with Rico, what was so crazy with that band, remember, because we had musicians that weren't as cool as us, but they were so studious. Yeah, we used to rehearse a lot. We did a Irakere number. Remember that Irakere number we did?
Oh yeah,
Oh
Xiomara,
wow! For rock, yeah, Somata. Oh man, with a band like that,
Xiomara.
what was it? A white boy,
Yeah, yeah,
an American bass player, the drummer, Mike Nielsen, I think.
yeah,
Yeah, and we were like, wow, man. And for me
yeah,
and you, I guess me and you, we held it down really, really good because we
yeah.
understood
Pa
the
para pa pa
complexity. Yeah,
pa
yeah, we
para pa
understood the.
pa pa
Mm-hmm,
para
mm-hmm.
pa pa pa
Yeah,
pa
yeah,
pa pa
yeah.
pa.
That's what I enjoy. Like I said, I enjoy playing with you because I was always looking at you. I mean, when we got to Paris, me and my crazy hair, and I'm
Yeah,
jumping up and down. You looking at me like I'm crazy because I was just so excited. And yeah, you was always there. I could always look at you, and we were on it. We
yeah,
were on it, on it, on it, on it. And I think we could have developed even more and more and more.
Yeah,
I
and
could look at
that
you.
was
We look at you. The
that.
breaks and everything. You was right on it.
Yeah, and that was what we actually needed with that band. Is that there were two percussionists. So
Hmm.
people are clear. I played drums at the beginning with Rico, but then
Right.
later on I played
All the
percussion.
percussion
So
stuff.
we were a drummer and two
Right.
percussionists.
Right.
So the band
Right.
was really full at
Right.
that
Right.
time.
Now I started working at a coffee shop in Orlando, Florida. And I got together with Chuck Dinkins, who did a lot of marketing. Somebody, so I was trying to learn
Ah,
about
okay.
marketing with him and everything. And you was working with a band with this famous bass player. I mean, this bass player I used to listen to all the albums, like Son of Latin Music, who won a Grammy, Lari Halo Salsa, Popo Me. This extraordinary bass player. Tell us about that. How do you meet Eddie Guagua Rivera, the
Well,
famous.
Eddie Wawa, so
Hmm.
people know, Eddie
Hmm.
Wawa was the bass player that recorded almost all the recordings of Fania. Uh,
Hmm.
let's say Fania
Hmm.
was, let me say a comparison, was like the Latin
Motown,
Motown.
not
Yeah,
Motown.
it was
Yeah.
like the Latin Motown. And that
Yes.
was like in the 70s. So all the
Hmm.
hits, all the Latin hits were recorded by Fania, by a
Hmm.
set of musicians, and Eddie Wawa was one of them.
Hmm.
Then Eddie went to Puerto Rico and he started working with Perico Ortiz in New York, actually.
Hmm.
And
Hmm.
then one travel from New York to Puerto Rico that Perico was playing, three
Hmm.
musicians actually stayed in Puerto Rico: Papo
Hmm.
Vasquez, Eric
Hmm. Trombone
Figueroa,
player.
and Eddie Wawa Rivera.
Every
So,
Figueroa piano player.
so the and Cachete Maldonado actually were four. So
Hmm.
so their purpose was to actually do this band that
Hmm.
was going to play different than the way that was being played
Hmm.
at that moment. So
Hmm.
when they stayed, they founded Batacumbele, and Batacumbele was a riot
Extraordinary.
in Puerto Rico. It
Oh,
was, yeah,
that's
and
like the
they
Beatles.
even,
They just say the Beatles.
yeah, they even went to Cuba, which it
Hmm.
means like, and they were playing Cuban music actually, and they
Hmm.
went to Cuba, and people in Cuba were like fascinated by them.
Hmm.
So
Hmm.
so Eddie, after a while, he moved to Miami, and then from Miami to
Hmm.
Orlando. And
Right.
then in Orlando, I met him playing with Edgar Rodriguez. Remember Iba
Mm. I
Ace?
got.
So I started playing with Iba Ace, Latin jazz group,
Mm, mm, mm,
and that's where I met Eddie. And
mm,
Eddie told me, do you know any church here that I can play? So at that time, I was playing with an African American church. It was called Eagle Nest.
Eagle Ness, I remember.
Yeah, and I told him, oh, come by. And then he started
Mm,
playing. He
mm,
started, he started playing. Then
mm,
one time that we were playing at Universal, in
mm,
some other gig, we
mm,
met Tony Castillo, who
mm,
just came from Boston
mm,
to Orlando. That,
extraordinary piano player, Tony Castillo.
yeah,
Yeah.
and it was
Mm,
a coincidence that at that time we needed a piano player
mm,
in the church. So
mm,
we started playing at church all this time, Tony, Eddie, and me. So it
mm,
actually came from the church that we actually got used to each other. And
mm,
every single time we said, oh man, we have to do a jazz trio. And then
mm,
you knowing TC, you
mm.
say, okay, so call me Tuesday. And then you will call him Tuesday. He will not return your calls until next
I
Sunday.
know. I know. I know.
And then,
Tony was the
yeah,
trip.
and then that happened. That happened like for 8 or 9 weeks until I got tired and I said, okay,
Mm,
let's do a recording session.
mm,
We did a recording session at Valencia because Valencia had the school, recording.
all right.
And when when Raul Valery, who is the director
Right.
of
We
the
worked a lot
school,
on the summer projects he
yeah,
did. Yeah.
yeah, which
recording.
actually you and me did the recording. Later remind me to make a story about that recording that we did, because
Mm-hmm.
you don't know what happened with that recording, but I'm going to tell you.
Okay.
We did the recording with Raul Valeri, so I knew Raul Valeri already. So I called
Mm-hmm.
him, can we record there? Because it
Right.
was free. So when
Right.
he heard the music, he was like, wait a minute, we have kind of like a publishing company here at the school. Do you want to publish this music through the
Right.
school?
Mm-hmm.
So we did. And then you came along with
What was the name of the
CTR's
band? What was the name of the band that you formed? Where you go?
Opus Mundi.
Opus Mundi.
Opus
Yo,
Mundi. That
wow. Yeah.
was the name that Eddie
Eddie
Wawa
Wow Wow. Yeah,
gave it to the band.
right.
So
So I
so
came
so you came
along. Uh-huh.
so you came along, and then you told us about the CTR's factory,
That's right.
we was in the corner of Pine and Orange Avenue.
Mm-hmm.
It's not there anymore. I saw the
No.
no. Well, I went the other day, and
Wow.
the signs were not there.
Oh man,
But
such a
but
nice
I don't know. I have no
location.
idea how they lose that, because, like you say,
Mm-hmm.
location,
Yeah.
and they had like a really really nice place to do concerts.
Mm-hmm.
They
Beautiful
they
place. The upstairs.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, they never how could I say, they never
Knew how to manage that place. I was
yeah,
trying to get in
exactly.
there. I was trying to get in there, but then I lost a job with the coffee shop because I was a connection that I had with that.
Yeah, yeah.
But yeah,
They didn't know how to manage it. That they were
no,
not patient,
no, not
with
patient at all.
working, because the first
Mm-hmm.
concert that they did with us,
Mm-hmm.
it was a January. It was like a January 4th, which is probably one of the worst dates that you
Mm-hmm.
can do a concert, a jazz concert,
Mm-hmm.
because
Yeah,
people is already tired
making
of
plans.
the
Yeah, yeah,
of Christmas, New Year's Eve,
yeah.
and then all of the road, and you are going to go January for a jazz concert.
Yeah, 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 yeah. I mean, it was the perfect venue because, they had the backdrop, the black curtains I told
They,
Dinkin, I
they
told him we
had
would do that. The
the
board,
sound
the
equipment.
sounds.
The sound equipment was already there. You didn't have to
Yeah,
carry
everything was
anything.
there.
Anything.
Beautiful,
Yeah.
beautiful, beautiful venue. But yeah, they didn't have primary. So that was Opus Mundi with
Oh,
Eddie
Bill, Bill,
Guagua.
Bill is saying that he was at that concert. I remember Bill was one of the people that showed up at
Bill
the
was
concert.
really?
Yeah, and
Okay.
I remember Angie was at the concert, and
Angie, I
some
remember
friends
her
from
coming. Yeah, yeah,
yeah,
that was one
so
of the
so
first concert, that Opus Mundi's concert. And I
yeah.
was,
It's record. I have it in some CD or
yeah,
DVD somewhere.
yeah. Well, man, you need, yeah. Well, you love that for you to make a copy, shoot it to me so I can one time feature it on a podcast or something, so people get a taste of that.
Yeah,
Whatever
let me see if
happened.
I found the DVD.
Yeah. So with Eddie Guagua, and I remember him transitioning, passing away, and we did the concert at the Center for Spiritual Living, which was another venue that I wanted to open up, create the same thing like in City Art, put the black drop. I wanted to do all that stuff there, but I was dealing with different other personalities in there. But that was a great, great event. I mean, that was packed
You,
too.
you know, Orlando has it has many great musicians. What
Hmm.
what I believe is missing here,
Hmm.
from a place like New York, is
Hmm.
actually the people from the venues.
Hmm.
They do not have faith, or with two
Ingenuity.
big
I think that,
yeah, with two big exceptions. Let's say
yeah.
the Blue Bamboo and Timuqua. But
Mm,
all the other venues that I've seen, they don't have like a North Star, somewhere where they actually want to do that.
mm,
Uh,
right.
like for example in New York,
Mm. Oh, New
uh,
York is crazy.
you have all these people that
All the
they
people.
don't have the venues, because they think that they're going to make a lot of money, but
Mhm.
because they actually love the music,
Mhm.
and
Mhm. Mhm.
that's what is
Mhm.
missing in Orlando.
Me as a
People,
promoter, that's the way I was. I wasn't into for the money. I
yeah,
knew I wanted to document things. I was like, yo, get the cameras, document. This is groundbreaking. This is where it's at. You know what I'm saying, for musicians. But you're right about that. You're right
yeah,
about that. You know. And
because the talent is there, is here,
mhm.
and there are many people with different ideas,
Mhm.
but where do you play?
Yeah.
So that's the main issue.
Yeah. Yeah. Let me switch it a little bit. So, you know, I want to switch a little bit because I want to talk about the bomba and the plena influence. Now, because I remember one time I was sitting with Giovanni Hidalgo. We were at his house, and I started to do this beat on the table, and he started to do some bomba rhythms, with the pen. I mean, we were just, that's the way we used to eat dinner. You know what I'm saying? It was like just
Yeah, yeah,
jam out while we eating dinner, no plato, and all. It was
yeah.
like a jam session with him. And I was telling Giovanni, man, if we could, that's beautiful. If we can incorporate the bomba and the plena with the reggaeton. You know what I'm
Well,
saying?
well,
I always had that
well,
vision. And so
well,
tell me, how do you see that? I mean, have you
well.
known of any?
It has been done because,
Mm,
for example, let me tell you who. He's not exactly reggaeton, but Teo Calderon is
mm.
doing that.
Oh,
He
okay,
has done that, and he actually players like from Bomba, his Bomba batters, and then he gets to travel with them.
good.
There is
Man,
some
I
there
gotta
is
look that up.
yeah, there is somebody else, but well, no, it's not reggaeton, but he combines a lot of influences. Have you heard La Tribu
Mm.
Diabrante?
No, no.
Well,
Educate me. No, no. I've not
you
heard
have
of them.
uh, they said Bill Moss. I believe that he's getting out. He says thank you,
Okay.
man. You're welcome, Bill,
Yeah,
and thank
man. He's
you
probably
for
on the
being a.
Facebook thing. Yeah.
Yeah, no, I'm
Yeah.
looking at the Facebook, so I can see the
Yeah.
comment.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah. See, I'm not. Yeah.
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 Take care, Bill.
Yes, Bill. Take care. I want to interview you too with the project that we've done, with Bill. Man, matter of fact, I'd like to bring a couple of, like you, Bill, all of us. We play with Ictus, Gary Williams. I put everybody together in one session.
Yeah,
That'd be nice.
and there you have people that are like really good at what they are doing,
Hmm.
uh, and probably don't have any venues
Hmm.
to do
So,
the same.
so yeah. So people don't know your brother. Are you ever gonna do a project with Davy Sanchez? Who I told everybody, it's at a very young age he was known as a Sony legend. I read that in one of the commentaries. A Sony legend, and I was gonna ask you, are you ever gonna be? I mean, have your guys ever done a project together, or looked in that? Because I know
Well, we
Tito's
play
doing. The reason why
we
I'm
we
asking you
play
that
to
because, uh-huh.
we play together in Puerto Rico, but yeah,
Mhm.
we probably will do something
Like a
together
recording.
soon.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
because that's gonna segue me with your other project that you got going on. Because I was talking to Tito and I didn't know that Ronnie, his other brother, on his new recording, he got the two brothers got together, Junior, Tito Puente Junior, and Ronnie Puente. Yeah, and I didn't know
Oh
that he
yeah,
was a,
yeah.
a vibe player, a marimba player, and
Oh
I was
yeah,
like,
yeah.
what? I did not know
Yeah,
that.
actually, one person that talked to me about him was Eddie
Mm.
Wawa. He
Wow.
knew, yeah, he knew his brother. Yeah,
Nice, 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 nice. So your project, Fusion Beat. As a matter of fact, I got the whole album and you put it on YouTube. So I was like, yo, I was checking it out. Very nice.
yeah,
As a matter of fact, you let me hear when I went to Valencia one time. I was taking courses there. And then I seen you and you even let me hear that in the car. Fusion Beat, while as you was recording it. Awesome work. So explain to me about Fusion Beat. How, what drove you to do a project like
well,
Fusion Beat?
that project started after, well, it started with Opus Mundi, really. because
Okay.
almost Opus Mundi merged from being a trio to a
Mm-hmm.
quartet. And then
Mm-hmm.
when Eddie dies,
Mm-hmm.
now I started figuring out, well, I have to do something. And
Right.
I added the percussion player because I was doing drums and percussion at the same time. So
Right.
so so for Latin music, that's a little bit taxing, like
Yeah.
especially
Yeah.
with
Exactly. Yeah.
so I added a percussion player and a
Mm-hmm.
trumpet. So
Mm-hmm.
now it's like six people, more like the way that it was configured. A band that I love a lot, Art Blakey. Like Art Blakey and the
Okay.
Jazz Messengers. I always
Who
that
was living in
combination of
Lakeland? He was living in Lakeland, Florida, for a while. Yeah.
so I love that combination of
Mm-hmm.
trumpet, sax,
Mm-hmm.
drums,
Mm-hmm.
piano, and the only difference is that we have a percussion player. But at some point, Art
Mm-hmm.
Blakey had a percussion player.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So so I
Presently,
started
that's the
doing
band you're working with now, Perfusing B. You're still guys. Are
so
still,
fusion beat, and the idea is basically that we have all
mm-hmm.
these fusion in rhythms
Mm-hmm.
with jazz.
Mm-hmm.
So at that point, the bomba rhythms were not that played that much by jazz players.
Mm-hmm.
One of the first people that I saw doing that fusion was Papo Vasquez when he was
Mm-hmm.
in Puerto Rico in the 80s. But not many people used to work that. Now there are many people that do it now, but since
Mm-hmm.
when we started, there were not that many people doing bomba and jazz,
Mm-hmm.
playing and jazz. So
Mm-hmm.
I also started combining the New Orleans music
Mm-hmm.
with some of the bomba rhythms and
That's
playing.
interesting. That's interesting how you was able to connect other genre of music and connect that together, man. It was unbelievable.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and
Groundbreaking.
we are working with the recording now. The only thing that
Okay.
now I cannot do it live, so I am experimenting with
Mm-hmm.
doing the drums first,
Mm-hmm.
bass, and percussion, the barriles.
Adding. Okay.
I have like two songs that I already recorded.
Mm-hmm.
With the barriles and drum set. So what I'm going
Mm-hmm.
to do, I'm going to add everybody. I'm going
Mm-hmm.
to work it out like everybody interacts, has the opportunity to interact with each other.
Mm-hmm.
So
Well,
probably
for
the
those who
piano
don't
player
know,
will have.
barril is it's a drum that is
Yeah,
it's created in Borinquen in Puerto Rico.
yeah,
Barril is a bomba drum, African centric, but it's yeah.
it's a bomba barrel
Mm-hmm.
that the slaves actually saw the barrels of wine and rum, and they say, "Hey,
Mm.
we can do a drum here."
Yeah, drum.
Many of the slaves that came to Puerto Rico were actually from the region of Bantus, actually.
Mm.
So many were like from Congo. Uh,
Mm. And you hear the
many.
similarity. You hear the similarity of all that
Yeah, yeah.
music, right?
Many were from, like for example, my DNA says that
Mm.
I have from Cameroon, Congo,
Mm. I'm waiting for mine to come
uh,
back. They just said, yeah, in 6 more weeks.
Senegal, and all those places.
Mm.
So
Mm.
from Nigeria, from all those places, there were slaves
Mm-hmm.
that came to Puerto Rico.
Nice, nice, nice. I'm glad that you did your DNA and now you're grounded. You know exactly what you're dealing with.
Yeah, yeah,
That's great. That's great. You of course you know who Thomas Lumbamba is, right? Yeah,
yeah.
Tobos.
Thomas is watching.
Tobos.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Thomas is
yeah.
watching.
He's watching. Great. I want to do an
Yeah,
interview with Tobos, man, because I always tell everybody that when I started to connect with percussionists from Africa, especially from the Congo, something happened to my playing. It got so enhanced. You know what I'm saying? And that's why I'm always grateful for that with Towa. And I think it a lot has to do with our DNA, the connection that we have in our bloodline, our
yeah, yeah.
ancestry, especially
Thomas around.
yeah,
Thomas say something, man.
Boricua.
yeah,
Hey, you go to
yeah.
YouTube, smash the like button, go to YouTube, and you can chat. It'll come out on my chat, and I'll put, I'm connected. But you know, yeah, I mean, great, 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 great. Him and also Casaponso. And the thing is, they make their own instrument. I need to get together, man. I want to get. I got ideas. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Using instrumentations
yeah,
like
that,
that. Barril with
that,
the demonstration from the Congo, authentic. You know.
yeah, that's one thing. Like when I got together in this other project that I'm doing, that includes,
Hmm.
I will have probably to do some things in Puerto Rico with Jesus
Hmm.
Cepeda, Jesus,
Hmm.
and Don Rafael when they received the National Endowment for the Arts uh,
Hmm.
award in 1984. They got the
Hmm.
award for by being folklorists, and also
Hmm.
because they are actually artisans that make the instrument. Because
Hmm.
Jesus and Don Rafael, they
Hmm.
used to make their drums. The drums that they play
Hmm.
are drums that they actually did
Wow,
themselves.
that's you
They
see,
made themselves. So
that's
so
a
so
whole
the other
class. Yeah.
the other project that I have is that I'm
Hmm.
writing a book about all these
Hmm.
rhythms from Puerto
I
Rico.
seen that
That,
barril
that
you have on the side of your drum that you made.
oh
It's
yeah,
on the
yeah,
side
yeah,
of the
yeah.
drum. Who's with that?
And I have
Julio Perez? Is that Julio Perez?
this
Uh-huh.
barrel on
Hmm.
bomba,
Hmm. Look at that. Look at the sound of that. Oh man. Yeah.
and
Nice.
and then the other one is over there. Actually, let me
Hmm.
see if I
Hmm.
can bring it.
I lost you on the camera. You know that. Right? There you go.
Yeah, yeah,
Okay.
no,
Okay.
it's here. I have a lot of stuff because it's
Hmm.
like right there.
I love that room. Yeah, I went one time in the room. It was just got drums all over the place. I love it.
That that's the drum,
Nice. That's the drum that I seen. That yeah,
and
and it mounts
and it's a
also on the side of it. Yeah,
yeah, yeah. It's what happened is that I went
beautiful. Look at
to
that. Wow. Look at the
I went
roping on that. Ooh.
I went to an artisan here, Angel Reyes, and
Oh, okay.
Angel actually he he took classes. He learned
Mm.
from Jesus Cepeda, and
Mm.
he learned from Don Rafael how to make
Mm.
drums. So I told him,
Wow.
look, I would like to to have a barrel that I can put in the drum set, kind of like a tom tom.
Mm.
And I started
Nice. Great
giving him
idea.
ideas.
Can you play with a
Uh,
mallet? Can you play with a mallet also? With
oh
that?
no,
With that? Yeah.
yeah. Let me go
Right.
over there again. I can play with the mallet or sticks.
Mm. Mm.
The
Yeah.
mallets are here.
Excellent, man. Unbelievable. Yeah. I miss being in Orlando because I got exposed to your guys that had these, this inspiration, playing with the drums like that and stuff like that.
Okay, I
Let me
was
give a
not ready
shout
for
out to
this,
Soul.
but
No, no, I mean, if it's not too an inconvenience for you, let me see. Wow, how deep it is. Yeah, look at that. Wonderful. I hear it. Yeah,
you like it?
yeah. Unbelievable. Beautiful,
Yeah,
beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. The sound
yeah.
resonate.
So,
You know what I'm saying?
oh yeah, uh,
That
I
sound
was
resonate.
I was playing with only with one hand, but what I'm going to do is actually do some videos. Let's see, I
Mm-hmm.
have part of what I'm writing. Actually, I already wrote this. See, now I have all this Yuba, and many things that I discovered in this,
Mm-hmm.
especially in the Yuba, is that
Uh-huh.
they fit with many of the American music. For example,
Mm-hmm.
the Sika. If
Mm-hmm.
you actually watch what Dave Garibaldi does,
Mm-hmm.
and he plays a lot of rhythms that come from the Sika, because the Sika is in New Orleans too. Uh,
Mm. Look at
the
that.
patterns for the hi hat, they are doing the pattern for the qua,
Mm-hmm.
which the qua, I have to explain, the qua is a stick,
It's a
and then you
quad, yeah.
play in the
It's a
in
bad,
the
like a
side
bamboo
of the
stick.
batter.
Yeah.
Actually, cup two sticks.
Mm-hmm.
Um, what many of the patterns that you listen into New Orleans music,
Mm-hmm.
those are patterns that actually you can hear also in Puerto Rico in the bomba.
Nice. Yeah. Yeah. And it's so connected, you know.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and that's why when I
Musicology
started.
101. That's musicology, advanced musicology, people, for your for your musician. A wealth of knowledge here. Musicology. Wow. Beautiful. I'm excited. I can't wait to you say you're writing a book on about that. And man,
Well,
that's gonna be a good read.
let me tell you this: the book is
Hmm.
finished.
Oh, it is? Okay.
Uh, yeah, but however, we are discussing how to publish it.
Publish it. Yeah, you gotta find the
So
right
so
publishing.
we are. I'm going to do it in Spanish and English.
Yeah.
So we are actually
Well, have you
discussing
ever
with some
considered
people.
self? Yeah. Well, I gotta talk to you
Yeah,
in private about that. Self
definitely,
publishing. Yeah, we'll
well,
talk about self
definitely.
publishing, blockchain technology with self publishing, smart
Yeah,
contracts, stuff like that.
definitely.
Yeah, we
But
gotta
what
talk in
happens is that
person.
right now we are talking about with some people in Colombia that probably
Okay.
that will lead to something. If
Mhm.
not, then self-publishing. I'm ready for self-publishing
Yeah. I've been
basically
studying
next
self
week.
publishing.
Yeah,
Yeah, I've been studying that self publishing because I have a script that I want to publish. But I want to redo the script all over again and make it into a novel. You know what I'm saying? Of my experience in New York City, Justi Barreto and all that whole thing. It's called Un Verano en Nueva York, matter of fact. But you know, you got to
okay.
watch one of my podcasts. What I'm gonna do, I'm gonna read some of the script. But I got to be careful because, like I said, there's a content, and copyright content that you have to be careful, because you want to make sure you
Yeah,
protect your content. You know what I'm saying?
just do one paragraph because
Yeah, that's what I'm
you
gonna do.
never
One
know.
part. Yeah, and then I've been studying. I already got my first certificate. It's just a certificate, but I've been studying blockchain technology, smart contract, because it's changing the way we musicians, the music industry, It's disrupted it. It's changing everything, Dimas. We no longer have to go to a third party. With blockchain technology, and I'm sure you know about this, you directly, with venues, directly with publishers, you directly dealing with the publisher, but it's secure, it's encrypted, it's secure. You created your block, and it's disrupting everything. So it's
Yeah.
a new
Well,
wave. It's a new wave of
uh,
doing business on a
then
digital business.
later you will have to explain that to me.
Yeah, we have
Oh,
to we
here,
have to speak about
Michael.
that.
Michael Cruz, Mikey is saying
Mikey.
hello.
Hey, Mikey, great
Michael Cruz,
bongocero.
yeah, yeah, yeah,
Work with a lot with Orlando Sanchez, Mikey, and yourself. I know you've done a lot of stuff. You know what I'm saying,
yeah, yeah,
Mikey? Yeah, I
yeah.
played
He's
with Mikey
watching.
at Universal. Universal had that was a time. With Tobo Zumbaba, Chris Valentino, all of us, we got Universal. We were able to meet. Us percussionists were able to meet in Islands of Adventure and jam out, get paid good money, jam out for 4 hours.
Yeah.
That was a beautiful
Well,
time, man.
saludos,
Yeah.
saludos, Mikey.
Saludo a
Espero
Mikey.
que toda tu familia esté bien.
Yes, yes. But also, so you're right now working Fusion B, and you're getting these books out, and so and so. So and I'm sure the COVID-19 man disrupted everything, right? So we're not
Well,
musicians are not gigging like before now, right? In Orlando,
well,
how is it?
well. No, that no, definitely no.
Mm,
That because when we when the COVID-19 thing came,
mhm.
I was in Europe
That's right. You was in
when
Spain. I know. I
yeah,
know.
I was in
I know.
Spain. I was in Spain
Yeah.
when they said
Hmm.
we are not going to allow any more many people coming from Europe, and then we had to get running because
Wow.
they were going to close But the thing is that in that at that time, like in April, May, I was
Mm-hmm.
supposed to do another project that I have here with
Mm-hmm.
Timokwa, which is uh,
That's the White House, right, Timothy? That's the White
yeah,
House. They call the White House. Yeah.
the White House, which is called the Timokwa Arts Foundation,
Right.
and
That I Larry
and
Coryell. I got to see Larry Coryell there. Visited. Yeah.
yeah, and we have this project that is a big band, Latin jazz
Mm,
big band,
nice.
and it's called, we were supposed to do a concert in May with
Mm,
David, actually my brother, and we were
mm,
supposed to do another concert in August with another artist, and
mm.
because of COVID, that those two
Yeah.
shows got canceled, and
Yeah.
that was going to be good.
Yeah.
Plus many other projects, and also has actually uh, taking aback a little bit the publishing of my
Mm,
book, because I was planning to go to Puerto Rico to finish something,
to finish everything.
because
Okay.
that's another thing. Another project that we have in mind is that Don Rafael Cepeda, I don't know
Hmm.
if you know this, but he wrote more than 50 notebooks
What? Oh, the
explaining,
right.
yeah, explaining that many things about Bomba and many things about Plena, plus
Wow. And you
the
have
songs
access
he
to that?
wrote.
Wow. And you have access?
Well,
You're trying to
yeah,
get access to that?
I have access through Jesus son, but
Okay. Wow.
we want to put this kind of
Yeah.
like in a place like a museum,
Nice.
or something like Schomburg, like Schomburg
Yeah.
Library or something like
Yeah.
that.
That's in
That's
Harlem.
what we want to do, because there
Nice.
is a lot of information that we have seen that is really, really valuable.
Well, keep me in mind. I mean, I definitely would like to, get involved with something like that. If, lend whatever I can, even, support. We can get a fundraising or whatever we need to do, to get this thing going in Puerto Rico. I have my niece is there studying law. She's taking the bar now, and so I got people in Puerto Rico, and my sisters are very invested in things like that. It'll be great to pull that together
Well,
and get our people to to what I say to protect at the same time uh, um um you know teach to
preserve.
preserve. That's the word I'm looking. Preserve for
Yeah,
the future generation, because that's our expression. That's who we
yeah.
are. Through
And
music.
the best way, do you know that was offered to the Somo University in Puerto Rico, and they were not interested? It's unbelievable.
Oh yeah.
But we can do it probably
We can
through
do it
some
private,
university.
private funding. Well, like I'm telling you,
Yeah,
the blockchain technology is going to take over. We don't need, you ain't going to even need all of that. You know what I'm saying? Because we're able to. Let me ask you something. The endowment of arts, are they still functioning, or a lot of that stuff is still kind of like on hold?
the
The
national endowment.
government.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, the
yeah.
national endowment for the arts. Basically, you have to write a grant.
Mm-hmm,
But the thing is, the best way to do that preservation thing is actually
mm-hmm.
taking an university or institution that
Yeah.
already, like the
Or
Schomburg, like I
building.
said, Schomburg.
Yeah, yeah. Get a
Yeah,
building. Great.
they have already the facilities, and they have the know-how how to
Yeah,
preserve this, because this
exactly.
is written in paper,
Oh, okay.
and so that means that we have to
Very delicate.
digitalize.
Yeah.
We have to digitize all this
Mm-hmm,
information. So
mm-hmm.
so so we
Mm-hmm.
have to do that.
Well,
Otherwise,
let me know the project. I'm in. I'm in, Dimas. I'm in. I'm so anybody who's out there, this is a great project we could be in, and we're able to preserve it. Preserve our culture. And preserve our culture. Um, you know, you know.
I am hoping to finish all this in. I know that I will in 2021, like this first
Listen.
semester of 2021,
Mm-hmm,
and then to work with the preservation of
yeah.
all those notebooks
Right.
that Don Rafael wrote. Because the
Yeah.
amazing thing about him
Mm-hmm,
is that he actually went to the Bomba dances, and he
mm-hmm,
wrote all the people that were there with their
mm-hmm. He
complete
documented that.
names.
Mm.
Yeah, he documented the whole thing.
Wow.
So now,
Smart
when
man.
because he already saw that it was decaying, because
Mm-hmm.
from all the bomba dancers and players, he was one of
Mm-hmm.
the youngest one. So he was seeing that not that many young people at that time
Mm-hmm.
were
Wow.
getting into this. So he
Mm.
started documenting the whole thing, and then
Yeah.
he
Smart.
started writing, songs. He started writing names. So for
Mm-hmm.
example, some people in Guayama were actually investigating, like, some bomba players in Guayama, but they
Mm.
only had the nickname. So
Mm.
so that,
Yeah.
like,
That's my
for
family
example,
also got a connection with Guayama because Arroyo, Managua,
yeah,
Guayama, close.
yeah. So my
Excuse me.
Guayama was like a big place. So
Yeah.
actually, he went to Guayama, and he put the nicknames and the actual name of the person, so they actually were able to research the person with ancestry. That's
Wow.
how valuable that information is.
Yeah. I'm sorry. I'm writing. Yeah. Beautiful. I hope I
Yeah.
got this right. I hope I got this right. I'm
Mikey said,
writing.
let's get together in 2021. Yeah, Mikey. I will say, when all this,
When all
gets
this thing,
done.
yeah, yeah. And you know what? That's what I was gonna say. That we are a resilient people. We survive so much. I mean, you look at the people in the island with the hurricanes and everything, and the whole bootstrap operation, and even the culture preserved in the Bronx, in Brooklyn. You know, it's. I hope I spelled that right. Don Rafael Cepeda, is that right?
Yeah, yeah, that's good. That's
Okay.
correct.
That's so that people could see that and if they want to Google that. So we're resilient. I think this COVID-19, we're gonna overcome this crap.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
It's gonna be done.
It's
Either
it's all
if you take the vaccine
it's
or not, just get your immune system up. You know what I'm saying? I teach that all the
yeah.
time. About get your
It's almost over.
yeah
You
yeah.
know that they will try to find something to keep us down, but
But they
uh,
can't. They can't, Dimas. They
yeah,
can't keep, especially
but
but,
we have, yeah, we
but
have to
the especially musician types. No way.
yeah,
They'll
yeah, yeah,
keep us
yeah, yeah.
down. No
Yeah, no,
way. We're so resilient. Our minds is constantly working. We're in tune with those waves, electromagnetic waves, and turn into music. What they call phronon. You know what I'm saying? Sound. I mean, we're
yeah,
just
yeah.
so resilient. We're gonna overcome all this stuff. They just can't. They can't stop it. You
Well,
can't stop it.
well,
Can't be
Richard,
stopped.
Richard there,
Hmm?
Richard there, he wants a virtual Roomba.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
That's one of the rhythms. It's called Quembe.
Guembe, yeah, I remember
So,
Guembe,
yeah,
Guembe.
yeah,
Yeah. Yeah,
yeah, yeah.
yeah, yeah,
You know
yeah.
that.
How about yeah, yeah.
And
How
in
about the
the book, I
clave?
have
How would
all
the
those variations.
how will you interpret the clave on that? You
Well,
know,
the clave, like in the Cuban music, the
so
clave
it's
is in the song.
right,
For
which is
example,
the three pop 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 right?
yeah, yeah. For example, if you have a
Mhm.
song like, there
Right.
is a song that says, mi pañuelo blanco, mi pañuelo de madra, pues, mi
Mhm.
pañuelo blanco, mi pañuelo de madra, San Toma, pa,
Right,
pa,
right.
pa, para, San Toma. Exacto. So it depends on the song. Now,
Right.
the only rhythm in bomba that actually defines the drum, defines the clave, is el
Mm-hmm.
holandés, which is
Holland,
where the plena comes. Our theory is where the plena comes from. So the holandés is like this.
yeah. Yeah. Yeah, we used to play that a lot in the street.
Yeah, this is not the position of the hand, but I am like kind of, in
Yeah.
reality. In reality, my left hand will be.
Yeah.
Uh,
Yeah.
and each besides that, besides doing
Yeah, we used to
that,
play that all the time in the streets.
yeah,
Ain't that something
besides
how that
doing that,
transition? Yeah. And the rumba, we used to do that in
yeah,
the rumba in congas, in the streets. That was one of the rhythms.
another thing that to make clear to the people, besides
Mm-hmm.
the book, I already recorded 3 hours of
Mm-hmm.
interview of
Mm-hmm.
video
Mm-hmm.
with Jesus Cepeda. And
Nice.
Jesus Cepeda is actually explaining the rhythms. We talk about
Mm-hmm.
history, we talk about the
Nice.
rhythms, where they come from,
Nice.
and also there is a section for plena. And
Mm-hmm.
he in plena he actually explains some of
Mm-hmm.
the strokes that people don't do
Mm-hmm.
anymore in plena.
Is this video out or is it on
No,
YouTube?
no, the video has to come out with the book
Mhm.
because that was an issue
Oh,
because
nice. Like a
because be,
DVD with the book.
yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, well, that's the thing that many people are telling me. Don't make a
well, that's what Tito
DVD
did
because
with the. He showed me a
because
book. Tito
we,
showed me a book
we,
that is about his father. That I think Jim Payne did. In the
yeah,
interview
yeah, but
with Tito.
that
That's a
book, I seen
DVD.
that book. Yeah,
You
but
seen that book?
that's
I
it.
don't.
When people had DVDs, people
Uh,
don't have DVDs
no,
anymore.
no,
So
no.
so
Flash
they,
drive.
they
Yeah.
were te- they were telling me you have some options. You could put it in YouTube, or you can put it
Or
in
how about this?
a
Yeah, an audio. You could do like an audio book and then have in that audio book also have a feature
I
where you
I
could play like
I already
digitalized.
have the audios recorded. The
Good.
thing is that, like for example, how to put them, like when people buy the book, they have
Mm.
access to it.
Right.
That's what we're
Okay.
discussing now.
Okay, that's good.
So
Yeah,
so
that's a physical book. Yeah. Yeah.
so actually, Jesus show a lot of the plena strokes.
So it's nice. Nice. Nice.
All those are
Mhm.
strokes that are played in plena.
Important.
But
Important. Yeah.
yeah, but he chose all of them because the way that people play piano now is different.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
To say
Mm-hmm.
different that
Yeah. Yeah. It seems to yeah. Yeah, but it's always good to stay to the original form. You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
I'm not
no,
against of evolution and people taking it to another level,
no,
but still, you
but
have to document the
to know,
original form and to know it. Yeah.
and that's what we want to know.
Mm-hmm.
So here Richard is saying that if you remember the rumbas in front of Joseph Cafe.
Yeah, Elena, Joseph Cafe and Elena. That was Elena, right? Elena Cafe. That's on Orange Avenue. You
Well,
talking about?
yeah, well, I don't know.
Yeah.
He's telling you that.
Yeah, yeah. That's
But
yeah. That's what I mean. Ito. Well, Ito, I met Ito is the one that drove up. I think we went a couple of times to Elena's Cafe, right? We jammed outside. Yeah, Eugene was there.
where was that? Where was that?
That was on Orange Avenue. The first Elena Cafe was on Orange Avenue.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Richard is saying that, yeah, that's the
Mhm.
place.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Elena. Yeah, that's where I met. As a matter of fact, I met Richard there. Ito was the one that took me there because I met Ito in my house. My cousin brought him to the house, and he didn't believe that I played drums. My cousin's like, "Yo, my cousin played drums." He did not believe it, so he brought the congas over. We went in the garage and I started playing. We immediately connected because he was like, "There's nobody out here that plays rumba like this." And then he said, "You got to come with me to Elena," and he took me down to Elena, and we started to play Elena. I want to do a nice interview with Ito because I got a lot of history with Ito, with Marvin
yeah.
Santiago, and I got a little good history with Ito. And he's been around a
As
lot
a
too.
matter, as a matter, as a matter of fact, this is another project that I have done here with,
Hmm.
with Ito, actually
Hmm.
with Bobby Colby. He's the leader.
Oh, nice.
Uh,
Yeah, Bobby,
we,
excellent
we did
guitar.
we did a
I
Led
seen that.
Zeppelin
I saw
Latin
that.
jazz.
That was an awesome video, man. The mixture,
Yeah,
your
yeah.
mixture. So
It was really good. It was really good. Yeah.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Anything you want to close out with?
Uh,
But let me tell the people, man. This is such an honor. You don't know. Me and Dima have this rich musical history in Orlando. We got to travel abroad too, and do a lot of recordings. And we got to, and I always, any project he had, and I had the ability to market it and bring it to a venue. I'm in North Carolina now. Before this whole COVID thing, I was already starting to work with a performing venue here. They got a lot of performing venue here. You got the Noda District, a
Yeah,
lot of artists out here. And I wanted to bring, but they don't have artists like we had in Orlando. We came at a time when Orlando's was starting to thrive when it came musically. You know what
yeah.
I'm saying? And so we came and we were part of that, and we were, one of the originators, originators of a lot of the thriving music in Orlando. But yeah, I was starting to work with the performing venue before, and I was already speaking with Giovanni Hidalgo. Bring him over. We were already talking about it and how we was going to orchestrate that. I wanted to definitely. I thought about Fusion B. I had my notes. Boom, Fusion B. Giovanni Hidalgo, Fusion B. Tiro Pete Jr. Rico Mata. I was already starting. Gary William. I was already starting to say, yo, I met a lot of some musicians here, and I was saying, "Yo, this is." They were like, "Well, you got
Yeah.
a history,"
Something like that has to happen here, and
Hmm.
forget about the musical styles and all that crap. It's
Hmm.
a,
No,
like remember that the old
grassroots here,
shows.
papi. Yeah.
You had Ella Fitzgerald, and then after Ella Fitzgerald, Frank Zappa will come. You know,
Hmm.
uh,
Hmm.
so we should do something like that. Music festival
Hmm.
in Orlando.
Yeah.
Gary
Yeah.
Williams, and then you have a jazz
Yeah.
band,
Yeah. Yeah.
and you don't have to call it like a
Some festival
like
just got
a
so. You know what? I didn't. I mean, it was okay. I had fun, like the Medina Festival and stuff. I got to play there, and the Calle Orange. I got to play there, but it wasn't like you said. There was not that versatility. You know what I'm saying? Of
yeah
jazz artists. There just wasn't that.
yeah
Except for when they did the
like a
concert. Right.
music festival that you see
Yeah.
blues, you see jazz, you see
Right.
rock, you see
Or
whatever.
or the concerts, like when they did, like for instance, when we did the. Were you there with Rico? We did the Tears for Fear concert.
No.
Yeah. Well, the Tears for Fears, that was huge. So only when they did, and with Gary Williams also played down. I think we opened. I forgot who it was. But the only when they did concerts like down Orange Avenue by the City Hall, they will have these big concerts and stuff.
Hmm.
And then they built the what is it, the Dr. Phillips Performing Center and stuff like
Yeah,
that,
yeah.
which I
Well,
was beginning to work with them
now,
too.
yeah, now they have the Dr. Phillips, and the Dr.
Right.
Phillips is doing concerts outside now. They actually have all this plaza there. They
Yeah.
have a
Yeah.
name. The concerts have a name like outside.
Right.
I forgot.
That's a beautiful
The
venue.
thing is the thing is that they are going to start that now, and they have all the seats separated because of the COVID.
Yeah.
As a matter of fact,
Oh, okay.
I, I went there kind of like as a judge for the Fusion Fest.
Mm-hmm.
That they
Okay.
have a competition of different groups,
Mm-hmm.
and some of the groups were really good.
Yeah, but like you said, the jazz versatility and the folklorical stuff like that. I don't know. I wanted to do that in Dr. Phillips Performing Arts. I wanted to bring a folklorical group. Say, hey, this is the bomba, this is the plena, and Borinquen. Have a night like that, and then at the same time bring in Tito Nieves maybe or somebody, at the end. But
Oh yeah,
have you know what I'm saying? It's still in the
it's going to
works.
happen. After all this pandemic, people are
Yeah.
very, they are going to get
Right.
out, and they are going
Well,
to get out
they better
big.
keep it together.
So,
Yeah.
so, so yeah,
Yeah.
this is
Yeah.
going to happen.
Yeah.
It's going to happen.
Yeah. That's why, I started to, I said, let me start doing these podcasts because, um, I wanted to expose, my fellow musicians and speak about the different projects that we having and whatever, and keep that contact. I'm not there here, with the social distancing, but at least we have this digital format that we can keep in contact, right
Yeah.
now and get things done. But yeah, man, I mean, you want to close out with anything? Anything you want to, I mean, you just gave a wealth of knowledge, man, that, wow. I
Yeah.
mean,
Well, no, thank you for this
hmm
interview.
hmm
I don't
hmm
know if I'm worthy of this interview,
no, come on. You
but
kidding me,
but
brother?
but let me say hello to all the people that are here. Richard
Yeah.
Villa,
Mm-hmm.
Tobos is here again.
Tobos, yeah.
He's saying yes.
Let me tell you something, Tobos. Tell
Also,
Tobos. I was speaking with Giovanni. Giovanni wanted to take Tobos to Puerto Rico, but we just couldn't connect, man. But
yeah,
yeah, I
Mike
mean,
Mikey was here.
mhm.
Paige.
Paige. Oh
Paige, man.
God, I
Hello,
would like to
Paige.
interview Paige. Yeah.
Pa-
Let me. Mhm.
Paige was here too. At
Mhm.
least the Bill Mons, at least the people that I see
Almost.
in the Facebook. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know about the
I can't
chat
see my
here in
Facebook.
this program, but
Right.
but so so next time that you do this, have another
Hmm.
device looking directly at Facebook because I can
Good.
I can see the
I think
comments
that's what I'm gonna
from
do. Yeah.
Facebook.
Yeah, that's what I
Yeah,
need to do. Hook up. I'm starting to get equipment now. Because like I said, I want to do this podcast at the same time, do promoting, and also, do some recording. So I'm setting up my studio. I want to set up a studio here. I got a
yeah,
pretty huge apartment here, and I got the one side of the apartment.
yeah.
My master bedroom is going to be
Wh-
my my studio,
Yeah,
my
well, which
master
is
bedroom.
a little bit what I have here.
Yeah,
I
I
have,
know. I
well,
remember.
you saw the
Yeah,
microphones, all that
yeah,
stuff.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. And now that your son is
well, but
studying, yeah, your son is studying. He can help you set things up, and he actually do his work there. Yeah, with the mics. Yeah, yeah,
yeah, actually,
yeah.
he actually set it up. Yeah.
Yeah. Good, good. Yeah,
So,
are you doing
well,
lessons? Are you doing lessons? Are you keeping? Are you doing lessons
well,
online? Lessons?
actually, the only lessons I'm doing is because there is a bomba school here in Orlando. That's another thing.
Mm-hmm.
And then I'm
Mm-hmm.
working with that bomba school. And the
Mm-hmm.
bomba school is actually Barbara Lee Cepeda, and she
Mm-hmm.
is the great granddaughter of Don Rafael
I follow
Cepeda.
her. Yeah. As a matter of fact, through
Yeah,
you, I have learned to follow her on
yeah,
Facebook.
yeah, yeah.
Yes.
So,
Yeah.
we are doing a lot of work through her,
Good.
and actually we did something last year at the Dr. Phillips with
Mm-hmm.
the in downtown Orlando with the Fusion
Nice.
Fest,
Nice. So say,
and we are
Dimas,
teaching.
you are worthy of it. You are a gem. You are, and to me, an icon because the wealth of knowledge that you have, brothers, from the boom and the plena and the jazz and your playing ability. You know what I'm saying? We got to travel. You travel around. I mean, the stages, big venues. I mean, you got the experience. I mean, you know what I'm saying?
Oh man,
So
yeah,
you're
thank
definitely,
you very much,
definitely
man.
worthy. This is such an honor. That's why I said it before I got did this interview that people, this is going to be an extraordinary interview because you're going to learn so much about our culture, about jazz, and you see it. It's the best thing is the experience you can have as a musician. I don't care, a lot of guys that I met, and not to discredit them, the good players, awesome players, but they don't have that rich experience. You know what I'm saying? From the masters of yeah, I guess it's an age difference. You know what I'm saying? A time difference, but
Yeah,
the wealth of knowledge, and we appreciate that. I appreciate it. You know, we appreciate it. And shout out to all the musicians watching. You know what I'm saying? Let's stay together and let's get this done. You know what
yeah.
I'm saying? Let's get it done. So Dimas, happy holidays.
Well,
Blessing to you and your family.
yeah,
You
yeah.
know,
Happy holidays to you too, and happy holidays to everybody that is watching.
everybody in the chat. Yeah,
Uh,
everybody.
yeah,
And like I
we
tell
hope that
everybody, mhm,
we hope
yeah,
that everything's okay, and then we
yeah, everything
we
is gonna
get
be
a
okay.
good 2021.
Yes, yes. Let's make the 2021 mean something because I
Yeah,
also do a lot of work as far as astronomy and spiritual work and stuff like that. And like people say that the Great Conjunction and stuff, the Age of Aquarius. Well, you know what? That's a new beginning. It's a new beginning. We have the power to see. We have the power to renew ourselves. We have the power. We're naturally alchemists. We could take any situation, negative, detrimental, flip it beneficial to us, positive. We got that power in us.
yeah,
That's our right,
definitely.
a human right, man. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
this stuff is a walk in the park. I'm not into that fear mongering and none of that crap. I mean, I pay attention, of course. I go to the
Yeah. Yeah.
store. The protocol is wear your mask. I'm gonna wear a mask. But let me tell you something. When I'm isolated, I take off my mask, Dimas. I breathe the air.
Of course.
I look at the trees. I've done podcasts out in the in nature. I eat. I change my diet. My plant-based diet, and sometimes I eat salmon, a little meat here and there. You know what I'm saying? But um, I always, say that like the people from the Tiempo de Ante, the people from back, they used to say, the kitchen is your pharmacy. That was our pharmacy. Something was
Yeah.
hurting you. You had an ailment. Let me go in the kitchen. Let me whip up some stuff, man. Boom. You weren't sick anymore.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Te curaban así. You know what I'm saying?
You
So
know,
our kitchen is our pharmacy, papi.
all that ginger stuff. You know,
Yeah.
ginger tea and all that stuff.
Yeah, I drink.
Well,
Yeah.
Carlos, thank you very much
Okay.
for
You
this.
you welcome,
There,
Dimas. Let
Mikey,
me. Mhm.
Mikey say Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas to you.
Yes.
Also,
Merry Christmas to everybody
Michael.
on that chat. I'll see
Yeah.
it later on the Facebook. But listen, subscribe to the YouTube channel. I wish I could put it. I think the YouTube. I don't know if it's on the Silos Conga. It might be on the Silos Conga YouTube channel, so that when we do the interviews like that, you hit the like button. We can hit
Okay.
the algorithm, and we can chat until I figure out a way that I can out of Facebook get the chats out of Facebook and directly chat in Facebook. I know there's a way to do that. I just I'm learning. I'm learning. But Dima, thank
Okay.
you, man. Un abrazo, papi.
Bueno,
Thank you very much.
nos
Love you
vemos,
so
nos
much,
vemos.
bro.
Gracias, gracias por
Okay,
todo,
man.
man.
All right. Okay.
Okay. See you, man.
Okay, Papa. Yeah.
Okay. Bye.
Okay. If you know how to see, you know how to end your podcast, right? Yeah, you know how to. Okay. Gracias. There you go, my people. Awesome. You know, worthy of it. This brother, extraordinary. You know what I'm saying? My brother, extraordinary musician. You know what I'm saying? The work that he does. I mean, you really, really, really got to check him out when he does his stuff at the White House and stuff like that in the band. His brother, his little brother, an icon, a saxophone legend at a young age, and then Dimas, a legend in his own right. You know what I'm saying? Definitely, definitely, definitely awesome. So anyway, let me end the podcast here. And tomorrow, I've been doing one every day, but then I'm gonna space them out. But I'm gonna have another guest tomorrow. Very important, and what I'm saying, been very influential and prominent, and um, one of the best when it comes to music business, getting things done. This brother is the man. You know what I'm saying? Another one that's worthy of it. Awesome, awesome, awesome. And so I'll bring them in, and there'll be more and more and more to follow. But I thank everybody very much. You have a blessing evening, and so peace out.